All right. We are live coming at you from Sosa's Twitter handle, but this is another practice run of Sunday morning QBs. We got some new faces with us once again. You got some reoccurring faces. Hopefully, we get some people that pops in and pops out. But you know what's coming at you tonight. Some NFL, offseason, preseason, whatever you want to call it right this now. Roundtable talk. Sosa, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Good to see some new faces, some familiar ones. Now that it's like their second time on here with us, second time on here with us today. Uh, it's been a great start to the week. I love every one of these that we've done so far. We've gotten to meet new people. For me, that's one of the biggest parts of it. For me, interacting with people who are intelligent, know what they're talking about, and also really know sports and love sports. So, with that being said, you can lead us into the next part of our introduce some of these new faces to us.
Yes, sir. You already know King Picks. You already know Spin Doctor. You already know Pacquiari. We'll let you know which teams they're covering once they get into their real stuff. But we got Sam and Bullpen joining us for the first time. So, Bullpen, how are you? Tell you about herself real quick.
Doing good. Excited to be on the show finally. I missed you last time, but I'm based in St. Louis. Been gambling for a long time. Been doing it professionally for two and a half years. So, it's a roller coaster. It's got its ups and downs. But with the NFL season coming, I see a lot of potential.
All right, my man. So thank you again for joining us. You are following the Browns for us. Obviously, you got a lot of numbers and stuff and stuff to share with the people. Our other new face that we have here is Sam. If you see his handle, it's Paid for Play. Paid for Play is a college football sports hour that will be debuting in a couple of weeks. He's going to be one of the hosts, one of the bigger correspondents for that. He joins us from the Indy area. He's the correspondent for the Indianapolis Colts. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and make sure you guys are following the Twitter handle in his photo.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Pay for Play. I'm looking forward to Sunday morning quarterbacks. I'm based out of the Indy area. I'm going to be covering the Colts. Obviously, I'm an LSU fan. I got family ties for all that, so that's just the reason why. If you're asking why is an Indy guy repping LSU, so I got a lot of family ties for down there. Yeah, man, looking forward to it. Kind of just casual gambler, but been messing around with Rex over the last 2 years on college. Figure we hop into NFL with him.
Love it. I love it. And joining us right now is Lady D, Betting in Heels on Twitter. Obviously, we're just introducing ourselves. Lady, tell us a little bit about yourself, where people can find you on Twitter, social media, etc.
Okay, hey everyone, I'm Lady D, known as Betting in Heels, but Lady D to keep it sweet and simple. I'm a big sports handicapper, sports better. So I'm a tout, that's what y'all call people who sell their plays, a tout, I do. I run my own business, I brand my own business. I started from the bottom when I went to the top, and I'm trying to go to the top more. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I've been doing it for years. I've been betting on sports like 15 years, just as a regular bettor. Been doing Betting in Heels for 9 years. So it's not like I'm new to this. I've been around the media circuit and stuff like that. So I'm wide known, not wide known, but people heard of me. So
I love it.
That sounding so big and egotistical, but it's just real. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Betting in Heels. I love football too. My favorite team is the Bears. And I don't know. I'm my bad, because I'm still get flustered because I'm not used to doing this.
You're good. You're good. Everyone here is new. I'm new. So we're just here to bring the conversation to your followers and everyone who knows
Right.
Who likes football. We're just having, this is just an open discussion to get to know each other a little bit better. If we're going to be doing a show every week, it's important to be able to have a level of rapport with the people that you deal with. So appreciate you joining us tonight. And where are you based out of?
I am in Arizona.
All right. So we got a Bears fan in Arizona. We love it. Just
Well,
like
Right by King's Pick.
Yeah, we have a Jets fan in Arizona. It's weird.
But yeah,
Hi,
so
King.
as we get into this,
up,
we
mate?
got a Birds, we got a Niners, Bucks, Colts, Browns, Lions, Jets, and Bears. So you got a full cast with you today. Hit us up in the comments. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter right now. Let us know your thoughts. If there's a subject you need us to get on, if you see a gambling line you want to talk about, fantasy, all areas are open. But we had some bad news come out today.
Oh no.
Somebody, mostly the tight ends, cannot catch the duck that Carson is throwing them.
Quack.
So let's just get right into this Colts talk.
I mean, you knew it was going to happen, right?
Especially for me, for someone to start 75% of their snaps. But let's get into probably the hottest quarterback in the league just from getting all the heat on Twitter and social media. Sam, how you feeling that you got A01 now?
I'm glad these are reports that were coming out on the first day because it's vindicated the way I felt about this trade the entire offseason. Everyone has been always with Frank Reich again. He's got his old quarterback coach. He's going to just step right in and be right back to MVP Carson Wentz again. And the truth is he just hasn't played good football in the last 3 years. So I felt a little vindicated reading those reports today, but it's going to be a long season.
I think it's going to be a long ass season too.
I personally, I'm a big Carson guy personally, but
you gotta hop off that train, man.
We're gonna see, man. It's it's a team that's definitely it's definitely stacked. A lot of talent, but I don't know, man.
I just need Carson to not play 75% of the season. That's all I need.
But
it's just keep that first round pick because this team is built well enough around Carson Wentz, but the quarterback is just not going to make any difference.
My biggest question is, do you have the skill positions there, though?
No.
Is Pittman a guy that you trust? I don't think so. Is T.Y. not anymore?
Washed.
No.
Your two tight ends are here or there, and then Jonathan Taylor is your best asset there. So that will help him the run game. But that's where I'm just saying, unless the line's noticeably so much better, and the defense is there as well. But it's like the skill positions where he's still got to put those guys in the position, and that's the biggest wild card.
You need a running back and a good quarterback, or not running back. You need a wide receiver and a good quarterback in the offseason, and you downgraded maybe at quarterback and didn't address any of the skill position or any of the wide receiver needs through the draft or in free agency. So I don't think it's going to be any better than last season. So I don't think it's going to be dirty at all. Like that, they haven't proven anything. Paris Campbell can't get on the field for more than 2 games in a row.
Bullpen, what are your thoughts on the Colts? Do you like their futures at all, or what?
No. No, not really. I mean, what do they got that impresses anybody? I mean,
Well, so the one thing I will say about the Colts is if you look at like a lot of preseason rankings, they do have a top 5, in some cases like top 3 offensive line, which you would think would bode well for Wentz. However, Philly's offensive line wasn't horrible last year, and with completion rate, yards per attempt, and QB rating, Wentz ranked 34th among 35 qualifying QBs. So first to last.
He holds on to the ball too long too. I mean, not all those sacks are not on the Philly offensive line. Like, granted, they weren't great, but he held on to the ball way too long, and he has the most turnovers in the NFL.
They got hurt a lot, which was they started off with a solid line, but by week 6, it was a mosh pit there.
Decimated. Lane Johnson gone all season. Brandon Brooks, you paid him a shit ton of money, immediately was hurt in the offseason. He hurt himself again. Like, he's made a paper mache for real. This the whole offensive line just fell apart. And I mean, part of it is the O-line, and he did hold on to the ball. So it's a bad combination for sure.
It's confidence. I think that's one of the biggest things is once you start getting them off early in the season and you saw some of those throws, like he was trying to throw the ball away and still throwing picks. Something was just wrong. Something just wasn't right. Who wants to jump in?
I mean, it's my favorite highlight reel on Twitter. The Carson Wentz bad interception highlight reel. I never get tired
It's all
of
one
sharing it.
season. It's not multiple.
I know. It's phenomenal. It's just so bad. And everyone just keeps telling me all offseason, everyone's saying it's going to be good. It's going to be good. He's going to get back to MVP level. And I have to see it to believe it, and I just don't think I'm going to see it.
Positive Colts. Who's positive on the Colts this year?
Well, I mean, I guess I kind of am from the standpoint of like their division doesn't have a ton of competition. So they might be able to sneak in. I mean, when you look at like how bad Houston's probably going to be, Jacksonville is going to be improved, but probably is still a year or two away. So, I mean, what? It's them in Tennessee? I mean, does anybody else think that any other team is gonna challenge for that division besides one of those two, and probably Tennessee?
No, I mean it'll definitely be Tennessee. I mean, if we're talking talent, Tennessee's probably the most talented team on offense in the whole division, right? They got
hands down,
arguably best runner in football, 2 number 1 receivers, a good offensive line with Lawan coming back. Everything's going to really come down to that defense. So the defense was fucking horrible last year, and I don't know if Julio's going to be able to rush the passer or play corner or safety. I don't know how that's going to work out. And they really are betting a lot of money on Bud Dupree just being that guy, because you're giving a lot of money to someone coming off of a serious injury, and he's got to pay immediate dividends. It's a tough situation, in my opinion. Especially just given how bad the defense was last year. They were terrible on every level. It was bad. So, I mean, and then the thing about Indy is Indy's going to play cover 2 every single game. So there's going to be about 5 games where you need him to score 40 points. Truth be told. And that's what it's going to come down to with Carson Wentz in my anticipation for the season. There are going to be at least 5 games this season where he's going to have to get him 40 plus. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, to be totally honest with you, based on the receiving core and the fact that they're going to play cover 2 every single play. And elite quarterbacks are going to shred that. It's going to happen. It does. I don't care who your linebackers are. I don't care about any of that. So
one
on that particular the Colts.
So let's move on to the other new team here. One quarterback where it was the rain game this past year that there was a lot of talk before it. Would you rather have Wentz or Baker as your quarterback going into it? I believe it was like week 6 or week 7 this rain game happened. So with the Browns this upcoming season, OBJ might be revitalized for the 3rd time in his career. Let's see that. Jarvis is back. Chubb looks like he's going to probably get 12 or 13 at least just rushing touchdowns this year. From a Browns perspective, bullpen, how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, all those guys, obviously, those are the givens. But what got me excited about the Browns is the depth. You know, you can't win a Super Bowl unless you have the depth. I mean, we've seen that. And a lot of these teams, like the Colts, you were talking about their offensive line. Yeah, they rate out good, but how deep are they? That's the thing. If a couple guys go down, they're in bad shape. And sometime throughout the season, that is going to happen. If that happens to the Browns, they're going to be okay. They got, legit 6-7 starting offensive linemen on the roster. So that got me excited. The receivers, Anthony Schwartz. I mean, this guy. They took him in the 3rd round out of Auburn. One of the fastest guys in the draft. I mean, he might be the fastest guy in the league. I mean, I don't know about that, but he is a playmaker. You want to talk about a sneaky DFS play for like weeks 1 and 2 before anybody knows what's going on? That's a guy. That's a guy that could win you a lot of money, in a donkey tournament. Anthony Schwartz stood out to me. I think he's going to do big things. And then, obviously, the Newsome guy, the cornerback, that guy's awesome. They drafted him. out of Northwestern, which they needed. They needed some help in the backfield. Who don't, which NFL team doesn't need a shutdown corner like him? So I was impressed with that pick because there was a lot of different ways they could have went there. And they got who else did they pick? Austin Schwartz and Demetric Felton out of UCLA. This guy, similar type player, running back, wide receiver, kick returner. He's another guy. If he gets loose in a game, he's going to put up big numbers, and nobody's going to know who he is. And, Hollywood Higgins, he's good, and he's slotted. Right now, he's going to be their third receiver. But I wouldn't doubt if these two kids pass him up at some point during the season. And then back to the depth. If Odell goes down or whatever, they got the guys. They got the guys in the cupboard, defensive ends. They got the linebacker. They got 9 linebackers going into camp. They're gonna go down to 6, but they're gonna have problems figuring out which ones to get rid of. These guys, they're loaded. Speed, agility. I mean, these guys are loaded. The Browns are loaded. I mean, and when people say they look good on paper, they look better than you think they look on paper. Like, I know they look good on paper with Chubb and, Odell Beckham. I mean, I know they look good, but I think they're better even than that.
I'm actually in a complete alignment with you. I think we had a little bit of talk before the show, like just in regards to the talent of this team, and the talent on this Browns roster is second to none, talent-wise, if we're talking talent. Now, obviously, talent and being able to put it all together on the field are two different things, because we've seen extraordinarily talented teams absolutely fail because they didn't have chemistry, whatever it might be. The quarterback just was slow, whatever. And I don't mean like slow running. I mean like a player.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, Case Keenum. That's another thing. You got to have a backup quarterback. These guys very rarely play all the games, and we've seen backup quarterbacks come in. Look, Kurt Warner, for example. I mean, the guy was stocking shelves. So we've seen it. It happens. Case Keenum's perfectly capable of stepping in, a veteran, and winning a big game, maybe a couple big games, to where some of these other teams, they got Corey, yeah, that's cool. No, I need a backup quarterback, somebody legit. And you get that with Case Keenum. So it's just back to the depth. And then we got the COVID issues. Who's to say how many of these guys are going to miss how many games throughout the season? So then you're back to the depth being even more important this season than seasons past. So
it's a very good point. I do like that.
I think you got to look deeper in these rosters to actually see, and that they're going to show us that, because they're going to be cutting some people, and we'll actually see some, final rosters and depth charts in the preseason. Will tell us a lot too. But those are the things that I look. I'm looking deeper than what everyone else is looking at. I want to see the talent behind the talent.
For sure.
Now, the downfalls, they do have a new offensive coordinator. So, there is some negatives. I mean, obviously, the Chiefs are in a hard situation to get, and the Titans. I'm pretty high on the Titans also. But
I still think with Stefanski, it's still going to be, majority him. Coordinator, but like the coordinator will do what he says. You know what I mean? I think also, like you saw it, I wouldn't say there was like a huge level of progression with Baker. They're not asking him to learn rocket science. They're saying hand it off a bunch of times and take your shots when you get them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing that really helps with him, because like it's simple. If you're going to hand it off 300 times to Nick Chubb, we know that. So if he doesn't turn the ball over, like, Cleveland should be a playoff team just off of that, just him not fucking it up.
I could see Landry. You got to watch out for him throwing some touchdowns too. I'm sure they'll have some tricks up their sleeve. So it's highly anticipated stuff we got going on here.
Yeah. Rex, I don't know which one. What we had next up.
I was about to say, Pacquiao King picks. You guys got any strong thoughts on the Browns? And then I had one last question for bullpen. He can get back to us at the end of the show on it. But Pacquiao, your king picks. You guys got anything?
Yeah, I feel like the Browns flipped the switch last year when they came and put the work on the Steelers on national TV, and they just came and worked them and won that game. And I feel like that was I don't know. People started to take the Browns like super seriously after that. Now, like that's how I feel. Like I like the Browns. You know, they were bad just like us for a long time, but they actually had a good coach and they actually started getting better. So I've always appreciated and liked the Browns. And then when they did that, I was just like, hey, for real now. Now look at them, y'all. Y'all gotta take them seriously. They ain't playing.
Absolutely. King picks, what you thinking?
I personally think the Browns they're my sleeper team. If they can stay healthy, like Bullpen said about their depth, man, they're talented on paper. Baker is going to have that prove it year where he can put it on his shoulders and guide this team into the playoffs and hopefully win a game or two. But I think OBJ is going to have a hell of a year. Solid running game, offensive line. Newsome is my favorite cornerback coming out of the draft. So, I think they have it. They just got to prove it now. Real quick, off topic. Am I the only one who thinks Spin Doctor looks like Robin Williams? I can't stop looking at you, Chris. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. You're good.
I sound like shit. I'm a little under the weather right now, but
You're high.
I feel like I got to start again.
Oh my god!
They're like Robin Williams over here. But
Hey, he was a well-loved guy. I'll take it.
His birthday would have been like 2 days ago.
I was like, what movie do I like?
I need one Good Morning Vietnam from Spin Doctor.
This is Doubtfire is one of my favorites. Man.
Oh, I love that movie.
So from this Browns team, you're talking about how at linebacker they had this much depth bullpen. You can get back to us a little bit in the show, but if one of those guys is going to be cut, who is like the best potential player that gets cut from this Browns? It doesn't have to be linebacker, but who would you keep your eye out if one of us and one of our teams going to jump on someone? Who should we be eyeing up?
I mean, basically anyone that they cut, I would take if I was another team, but I will get back to you with it.
No doubt.
All right.
No doubt.
Do we want to go with the Bears and talk about some David Montgomery action real quick?
Oh, yes, David Montgomery. I was just thinking about him right now, actually.
What
What are your expectations? Is he going to have 1,000+ year touchdowns,
I hope
fantasy,
so.
gambling? Which way you want to take it?
I'm hoping he have a good year because I'm definitely trying to get him for my my fantasy league. Him and let me see who else I want, and Cohen as well. So I'm really a big Cohen and Montgomery fan. So I really like them. I hope they have a great, outstanding year. I remember Montgomery got hurt and messed up all my fantasy points. I'm like, oh, I hate you guys. So I'm hoping for them to have a great year. I don't know who we're gonna have if we're gonna bring in Justin Fields in. I'm kind of iffy about the whole quarterback situation right now because we got Andy Dalton. I'm not a big fan of Andy at all.
He can't
No,
start.
Andy. They should have got rid of Andy and kept Mitch in, to be honest, okay? As long, you know how Mitch is horrible, but I would have kept his ass in than Andy. So, yeah. I have to see everything. I'm looking at the practices now because we just started our practice today, and it was very quick practice. It wasn't even a full 90 minutes. So I don't even know how everything gonna look because, of course, Ballpen came talk about COVID. How is this gonna affect our team as well? And especially with the new variant running around, the lockdown.
Absolutely. For sure. We live in unprecedented times. You know, when you're asking when they're asking Carson Wentz about the vaccine and he just doesn't want to give an answer.
Nobody does.
It kind of leaves you like with that. It's like what if someone does get COVID and they're out 3 weeks?
You didn't even have to ask Carson. You knew what he
Like,
was
Who do you
answering.
go to? You know,
Yeah, like that's all bad news, man.
81 out of 90 players from the Jets got their vaccination.
Yeah, well,
83% in the Bears.
Which
What's
is
his
Yeah,
name?
Lions are over 80%.
Yeah, but
Wasn't
you
the
still
owner-
get sick with the damn vaccine anyways.
wasn't their owner like an ambassador in the Trump
Yeah.
administration?
Yep.
It's kind of strange that
Woody
they'd be so
Johnson.
that's kind of strange that they'd be so pro-vaccine.
Similar.
All right,
They
Xavier
don't.
Howard.
Welcome to the hate train, folks. Let's just
I was
keep it
about to
rolling.
say, we'll talk about Carson when he doesn't try to take Jalen Hurts' number because that's how much rent-free Jalen's living in Carson's head.
I've seen a few number 2 jerseys out in the wild. It's a bad look. It just looks terrible.
Yeah, Carson's just – me and Sam have talked about this before. Carson's just not a quarterback that wears number 2. Well, you can get into your jersey numbers and who wears what differently, but Howard, spin doctor. I don't know if you want the – I don't think the Bucs have the necessity to trade them, but this is going to be open for anybody. If
Oh my
your
God.
team's going to trade for him, what are they going to give up? Or where do you think he ends up landing? Because it sounds like he won't be in Miami for much longer.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I would take him. I think that secondary, even heading into this season, is probably still our weakest spot. It was one of our weakest spots last year. Even and not even so much cornerback, like heading into safeties, but can always use secondary help in the NFL. I don't think without giving up any core pieces, we would have what it takes, unless we're going to give up like a billion draft picks, which with the window to win being so small, and then probably after that, if you think when Brady retires and other guys start to move on, we are probably going to need those draft picks because, as I said before the show, we got about a 2 or 3 year window. I don't think that it's probably going to be a fit with Tampa. Would love to get him, but probably it's for what we're trying to accomplish this year. It's just probably not going to be worth it.
But to win another championship, I mean, like Brady is going to do it again, back to back, until somebody just I don't know. I think they can do it because y'all already built that team right there. You know what I mean? Y'all brought what Tom Brady did, went and brought a damn team, and he went and did that work.
They basically brought everybody back too, didn't they?
The whole team, the entire team from last year is brought back. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a wrap.
That's what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I know we're getting off topic, but this is just a quick thing about the NFL salary cap, because everybody talks about how the NFL has a hard salary cap. That's just bullshit. They do not, because there is no way the Bucs should have been able to bring those guys back. The way that they brought them back was they signed guys to ghost years at the end of contracts. So they're basically empty years that you use to game the salary cap system, which is the same way that the Chiefs rebuilt their offensive line. So again, don't want to get too far off topic, but anybody that says that the NFL has a hard salary cap and they're touting that as opposed to other sports, that's total bullshit. They do not, because Jason Light, our GM, completely gamed the system this year legally, but completely gamed the system because there was no way we should have been able to afford to bring everybody back. I'm happy as hell that he did it, but there's just no way. So, so I'll let somebody else talk about trade.
Yeah, where do we think he goes? King's picks. Any chance he ends up on the Jets, or where's your guess that he ends up?
I don't know. I hope it is, but the Jets. I don't see our general manager signing that. Joe Douglas, he's not real pro for that.
Trade him within the division.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's not a big trader. He hasn't proved it yet since he's been GM. So I don't see it. But shit, they paid everyone under the table. It seemed, the Bucs, didn't they? I don't. What do you guys think he's gonna go? I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I guess I would ask, like, what kind of value would you assign to him? Like,
Who are we talking about?
I would love Howard.
Scrolling down at the bottom. Use your eyeballs.
Oh shit, my fault.
Yeah, cornerback. I mean, Jets need a cornerback. I would love him. I don't know if we can afford him. I think we can. I just think they're going to trade him within the division. It makes sense. And Joe Douglas likes to sign players at a cheap deal, like a 1 year deal, and I think he wants to get paid, doesn't he? Or he already got paid, but
I mean, it would have to be a team that is just
NFC.
on that. It's just on the outside, like needs one more corner to just try to make a jump to contending. I
The
mean,
Packers, the Rodgers could cry and they'd sign him if he wanted him.
yeah, but
go.
you also have
Yeah,
to think: are they going to be
yeah.
able to give up the draft capital for whenever Rodgers leaves after the offseason? Because they're going to need to rebuild. So,
Do you think he's gonna leave to go to another team? I mean, like,
He already
Rodgers?
requested a.
or
wait,
he's
who?
gonna finish? Or he's like, I'm gonna retire. They're
Hey,
gonna
listen,
you know?
I'll say this: Xavier Howard will probably end up with the Vegas Raiders, if anyone. If he does leave, he'll end up with Vegas.
Raiders or Arizona.
But I mean, I think it's just a ploy to try and get the deal restructured. I mean, he said that he tried to get it restructured a couple times. They didn't want to do that. I think he works out some level of a restructuring. They really do need him. I mean, you could say the defense is stacked because it is, like, frontline talent wise. The scheme is also very strong. Flores is a great defensive coach.
He ain't going to the Cowboys. Simba.
But for Xavier Howard, the Cowboys can't afford him.
I know.
Who wants to go to the Cowboys anyways?
Oh,
Vegas has a shit ton of money, a shit ton of picks. Like, they're a destination for a lot of players this offseason. Like, I could easily see Rodgers and Adams signing there.
Yep.
And I'm not even
I'm
kidding.
with you too.
Both of them going to Oakland.
And that's what,
Or not Oakland, but Vegas. But it would also make sense as from a standpoint of like Aaron Rodgers. I think he always wanted to either play for Oakland or San Fran as a kid. So why not go back to a team from your area where you were raised to try and win a championship? I think that would be. Obviously, that's off the subject. But like, I can see them being a destination for a lot of people who want to get out of their current situation that are talented.
I'm with you right there too. So.
It's, I mean, just like Roger said today, they show up. They don't. It's not a tourist destination. Well, Vegas is a tourist destination, and they can pay them, and they'll come to play with him. So that would just be like the most glaring obvious thing. You're not going. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I feel like Vegas will probably let him have a say in like what do you want to do, like saying like bringing people there or like making decisions on kind of what the team should do. Like
try to do a Tom Brady move. That's what he should do. A Tom Brady move everybody right to freaking Vegas.
If you're a smart franchise, you should just let him do that anyway. Like he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. Why would you not give him a say in who you should bring in?
Well, and has anybody actually seen the stadium? I mean, I know no one's been.
Oh my God, I have.
Holy shit! Is that thing nice?
It's insane. It's amazing.
I can't love go for the Bears and Raiders game.
I love Levi's when it opened. This is nothing. That place is like a fucking spaceship just landed.
From Star Wars.
Yeah, well, and the reason why I bring it up is that if you're talking about a destination, not that a stadium is going to make a player of like Aaron Rodgers' caliber sign there, but it doesn't hurt if you have and you get to play in warm weather, you get to play indoors, you get to play in that beautiful, beautiful stadium. You're like Sosa said, you're out west by your home. I mean, there's a lot of attractive things about it. But that's
they got money. They got money. Like nobody on that roster is paid. No one.
But they did good last season, though. They were hitting the spreads.
What the Raiders? Right, from a betting standpoint, but what did the Raiders finish last year? Like 6-10?
Yeah.
6-10, something like that. They weren't. They won a couple good games.
Hey, they beat the Chiefs.
And they just fall apart just like the Bears.
I have no comments on the Raiders, to be honest. What the fuck is Gruden doing, man? For real, like at least he's got long-term security in the job, right? He's not going to get fired. Like that's like the one thing you can count on. Like it's like, man, even if we suck, I know I'm not getting fired. Also, from just history, like it didn't make any sense for him to go there because no coach has ever won a championship with two different teams. No coach has ever won Super Bowls with multiple franchises. So it's completely out of the realm of belief that he would do it somewhere else. It's never happened before. So
so obviously I was around for his first championship, and I will, people say they were Tony Dungy's players. It was Tony Dungy's team. Now, Tony Dungy is the right coach, but he wasn't the right coach for that team. They needed his intensity. They needed his fire, his drive. That was a team that needed to be kicked in the ass, and that's exactly what he did. So I will forever give him credit for that Super Bowl title, because I don't think Tony Dungy would have won with that team. I think that the team he won it with was the right team for him.
And shout out to Sam. He's got some stuff to do, but we appreciate him. Popping up with us tonight. Like I said, it's practice. This is easy, right? It's just us having a conversation. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. I don't believe.
No, I love it. I love listening to y'all.
Maybe the next one should be about fantasy, NFL fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
I
Daryl?
think that will intrigue a lot of people.
Yeah, because
My two good players.
Head down, Rex.
Well, I was about to say
I
then,
didn't
King
know
Picks,
for my
if you want to do a fantasy talk, we got kind of open table right here. Who's your one guy to target that wouldn't be, I guess, a big name, and who's your one guy to fade if you have either or?
Oh, what position?
Any position.
Man. So far, I actually have my notes right here.
I haven't even started my notes yet. I've been too busy betting.
I would probably pick like a sleeper to be exact, or
Any way you want to talk about. Give us one value pick. Any way you want to spin it.
Oh man, I like Devontae Smith a lot from the Eagles.
Ooh,
I like that. I like that.
I think that boy can his running, his routes, man,
I
incredible.
think I had him last year.
He just knows.
He reminds me of like a faster Steve Smith. Just if he can bulk up just a tad, that'd be dangerous. He's a bad man.
I can't agree with that comparison.
He's a dog. Well, let's see if he can prove he can be a dog too. But I'm talking about the route running, the cuts. Like he'll break your ankles.
Oh no, that part, yeah. But like Steve Smith, that's a tough one. Like Marvin Harrison, maybe.
Ocho Cinco.
He's a little shorter than Ocho, but Steve Smith.
Route running, bro. Route running.
Oh, like Steve Smith used to seek out contact. Like he liked hitting people. He's
a dog. I'm just talking about he has good feet though. But
Devontae though, one of the best route runners I've ever seen coming out of college.
Exactly. I think he's gonna. I think a lot of people are downing him. To be honest, he's gonna shine. He'll be a top 10 receiver in the next 5 years.
Those people don't know the game.
Yeah,
I completely agree with what you just said. He knows how to get open. Obviously, I think they make a big deal about being 180. I mean, AB's what, 5'10", 185?
Yeah.
He ain't
You're
never
smart enough to put your body in good positions, and that's what Devontae is.
I think the Cowboys wanted them so bad too, because you guys had the 11th pick, right, Rex? And then the 10th was the Cowboys.
What happened was we wanted CD last year, and they fucked us. So then we went and drafted Jalen, so they couldn't get Jalen in the second round. So then this year we fucked the Giants over by trading up to get Smith, and it also screwed the Cowboys in the same. But there's no way the Cowboys could throw out those four. I mean, they could, but they're still not addressing their bigger issues, which is why they. I mean, even with Dak being out, that team might have not made the playoffs just with how the defense was going. They were smart with the way they addressed the draft. It hurts me to say. But, yeah, I think there was a lot of vengeance picks in the first and second round between the NFC East in the past 2 years. You never wanted Jalen. Jerry did, so you didn't have to pay Dak.
Actually, King Picks, I'm surprised that you didn't say Elijah Moore.
Yeah. It's just quarterback.
There's all kinds of good buzz coming out of camp.
Yeah, I love Elijah Moore. He's going to be a bad man too, but Devontae's just a tad above him. Yeah. I was very stoked that we picked him up. It was like a steal, to be honest, in the second round. And
Elijah's legit.
Yeah. We just
need to sign fucking Zach Wilson, man. It's like the last first round pick that hasn't been signed, and every rep counts.
It's y'all's fault. It's New York. It's New York thinking that the market. that players that a young player should take less money because of marketability in the sport. Like, ain't no tomorrow in the NFL, and he's doing the right thing. Get every fucking dollar you can. Don't sign a deal that accommodates $1 billion company in a huge city. That's stupid.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I'm all over Elijah
Get your
Moore.
money.
Love his athleticism, love his talent. I'm in one of the leagues I'm in is a specialty league where it's rookies only. So you can only draft rookies that were drafted in that year's draft. You keep your whole team from the previous year's draft, and there's no free agent pickups. It's crazy. It's a fun league.
Yeah, rookie only draft.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like typing in my notes. Never play fantasy football with Chris.
I'm pretty heavy into fantasy.
Ever.
I love fantasy, but that's interesting. I've never heard of that. I would be interested.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
interesting though. You got.
I'm psychotic.
It's
That's
fun.
crazy.
But we got to the early third round. We got to the early third round, and I was just so stoked that Elijah Moore was there. I took him immediately.
I would get to like the fourth round and be confused as to who to pick. Like now I'm picking like fifth round receivers out of like, McNeese State. And he might
Those
get
guys that you never see on regular fantasy
he might
rosters.
get like 10
You have to
catches
do like
all
a name
year.
generator.
That's
Who's that?
That's some other shit, bro. Like I've never heard of that. Only
We go deep. We go deep.
crazy.
Yeah, there's some wild leagues out there.
I ain't built for that. I'm not built for that.
Who's the Lions fantasy player to target this year off the top of your head?
TJ Hawkinson. Grab him. As you can. Good value. He should still be there like in your late rounds, like after the top, obviously your Kittle, your Kels, and your Waller, all those guys will probably be gone quick. Yeah, see, Eddie Simbano, what's up?
Nice.
So,
Goff's not going to throw the ball more than
strategy.
20 yards down the field.
There's a strategy that I've been thinking of going.
I feel like he's going to be the Lions' leading receiver this year. Because I was just taking a look at our depth chart, and basically our other top wide receiver is good old Tyrell Williams, Brashad Perryman, and then just some like random guy. So
that sounds awful.
I'm gonna be lit every Sunday, so it should be a good season.
Take the
the third receiver on his team is some other guy.
Yeah,
some guy.
Hey man,
that was my life last year.
The Tigers will be good soon, though.
I know.
But my question to you guys was, and it's a fantasy strategy I was thinking about talking next year. I don't know if we'll be in any of the same leagues, but I don't think I'm going to touch a wideout till at least the 5th or 6th round. I think I'm going to go running backs early, go tight end if I can early as well, because I just think the wide receiver depth this year, especially if you're in a PPR, you can pick up some studs. And I think the tight ends, there's a quick drop off. So I love that you said Hawkinson, because he was one guy that I'm going to try to be targeting. Sure, I know Stafford's not there, so it's going to be a little bit different. You saw Gerald Everett break out some weeks. You saw Higbee break out some weeks with the Rams last year. So that's maybe more of McVay's scheme. But I definitely think Hawkinson ends the year as a top 5 fantasy tight end.
I like that too, man. He's going to get the targets for sure. For sure.
I like that boy Kyle Pitts, man.
I like Swift. I like Swift from Detroit. I think Swift can be all right. I think Swift. I like Swift. Dual threat back, can catch it. The concussion history can be a bit of an issue. A young guy gets one concussion, he gets another one. You don't want that. That's like something that might make you a little hesitant from taking him in fantasy drafts. But I think if anybody in Detroit and I like Hawkinson, I think Swift has a little bit more value.
Yeah.
Than Hawkinson. Hawkinson's probably their most talented player, best receiver, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And you bring up a good point, Rex, because I talked about I'm in a bunch of keeper and dynasty leagues, and the premium tight ends are hugely valuable. There's another one I do where we have a salary cap and salaries increase each year, and I'll spare you the details, but it's really involved. And so I have Kittle on on a two. I have 2 years remaining on his contract, and I've been fielding some heavy offers for him, but there's just no. Like Rex said, after him, Waller, Kelsey, Hawkinson, maybe Pitts. I mean, it just falls off the table. So, tight end, especially for a league that mandates a starting tight end. Like if you have a league that's got a wide receiver, tight end flex, you can probably get by with waiting. But I like your strategy, Rex, because there's just such a scarcity and it's such a commodity to have a top tier tight end.
That was my life last year because I drafted Gronk. I'm in a 14-man league. I couldn't suffer to put him on my bench after 5 weeks, dropped him. That's when he broke back up. And I was just streaming it different. I just fucking started Irv Smith Jr. like 3 weeks last year. That's like where I was at. So that's where it could be a little bit too much of a burden or
to help me build my fantasy team. Rex is gonna help me.
Yeah, so that's just kind of where I just think it could be a recent burn, but I think it could be a decent way to take your draft chips because I love the tight end pool this year.
Bro, you just said salary cap and fantasy.
Salary cap, contract years, we do it all.
Do self. Do not play fantasy football with Chris. I have to write that down again. I had to type it down again. Do not play fantasy football with Chris. It's a trap. It is a fucking trap.
It's involved.
He's legit a GM over here.
Bruh.
He's doing Madden in real life.
Yeah. Bruh. That's
bullpen.
I know I invited you to
other guys you want to hit on?
I like Harrison. It's Harrison Bryant. He's a second string guy. But I could see him having a couple multiple touchdown games throughout the season. Obviously, Hooper's going to get the share, but he's going to be open a lot. He did have some fumble issues last year, but hopefully he gets them straightened out. Young guy, talented guy. And, he could break a slate. He could win somebody $1 million this season.
Listen, that is a great. I have him on my board as well. He won the Mackey Award his last year in college at Florida Atlantic. Kid was super talented. He's built like a horse.
He's a freak.
He's a very very underrated talent. I love his game. I love that pick as well.
Might get you a few zeros also though. So there's the floor is pretty low with a guy like that. But if you're looking for big field GPP, for big field events, I could see playing him. Obviously, a single entry or a cash game, unless Hooper's out, because they got the Njoku guy too, which he's
Njoku. What I'm hearing though, Njoku's either going to get cut or they're going to trade him. He'll be gone.
Yeah,
he'll be gone before training camp. So
I don't think he'll be a factor.
Yeah, Njoku's gone.
And back to your linebacker question, I got a list of them, and I don't. There's the Fields kid that they drafted in the 5th round out of West Virginia, and they got him basically for coverage scheme, for kickoff coverage. He might not make the cut, but I mean, obviously he's a talented kid. But they just got so many to choose from. They took a kid in the 2nd round out of Notre Dame who's a freak. I forget his name, but he's good. So it's not going to be him. They're going to bring the veterans back. So I could see the 5th rounder getting the short end of the stick, especially if they're bringing him in primarily for kick coverage. I mean, so the Fields kid's probably your guy that gets the.
Nice. That's a good one to target for. Make sure to be looking on that on the wires to see where he lands up potentially.
Yeah, I saw it in the chat. I saw Jasecki. So I have a decision point to make about him in another keeper dynasty league that I'm in. And I know. So
news.
I love it. I love it.
Breaking news: Dak Prescott to miss a few weeks with a shoulder injury.
Oh, and I was
Here we
go.
Here we go.
No way, bro.
The injury prone started now.
Hey, just got the alert. Could miss a few weeks.
Good.
With a shoulder injury.
How do I make
Eddie
the big head out of everyone? Oh,
right.
God, not me.
Yeah, just get Eddie.
If Adam Schefter hasn't posted it, don't believe it.
I think it was posted on the Giants message board. What do you think?
No, it's on the sleeper. It's on the sleeper app right now.
Sleeper app.
There, go ahead. Zoom in on me.
I got to look into that. You're getting that news before me. I didn't catch it yet, but last I heard, he was day-to-day with the short shoulder. The Cowboy. I know. I'm seeing it now. Yeah, the Cowboys.
That's crazy.
They're being extra cautious with him. There's no reason to have to run him out there in training camp.
Exactly.
He looked good in OTAs. He looked good when I was out there. If he is gonna, or if he could be out up to 2 weeks, it's more about just injury management and them being extremely cautious. We've seen what happened last year when Dak was out. The Cowboys do not want round 2 of that. So, hey, if that's the truth, it's the truth. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, who is the Cowboys' backup quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Garrett
I heard
Gilbert
of him.
coming back or
Yeah.
Ben DiNucci.
You said that
Ben
check?
DiNucci is trash. Ben DiNucci.
That's why you
is
guys
trash.
needed Jalen Hurts. I told you, Eddie.
Bruh, that's cold right now, man. Like that's breaking news during the show. Goddamn.
Oh, that's 2 weeks. That's not even the first game. The
But
first
you
week.
know what?
That still happens.
I'm just saying, from an optics standpoint, second day of camp, you don't want anything happening to your starting quarterback. That's all.
This is actually their 8th day in camp. Not that it matters. I get what you're saying. Not that it matters how long.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean, man. Like they just started practicing. God damn. And then you seen Gallup twist his ankle yesterday.
That was ridiculous, man.
See,
I seen that play live. He shouldn't have did that, dumbass. He made that play happen, bro. That was dumb as fuck.
I don't know, man. Maybe if he gets a better ball, that doesn't happen. Just saying.
Oh,
All right, that wasn't Dak throwing the
Jade.
ball. That wasn't Dak
Hey,
throwing the
man, it
ball.
looked like Dak could have delivered a better ball. Just
It wasn't
saying.
Dak. It was Dan Gilbert. It was
Oh,
Gilbert.
so that
Yeah,
now
it
that
wasn't
explains
Dak.
everything. It's the guy who's even more trash. not as trash. That was a little.
The quarterback
I'm
issue.
a Dak guy. I love Dak. I'm just kidding.
Cowboys have a backup quarterback issue. I know that as a fan. I think everybody in the world knows that.
What was it? The 12 games last year, or like how many weeks into the 12 did it take you to realize that?
Oh no, I realized it the day. You know what? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I thought Andy Dalton would be serviceable. I really did think he would be serviceable.
Well, that's your fault. Nobody watched the Bengals games either, so it's okay. Nobody, we didn't watch them shits either. We knew he was ass. We knew he was ass. It's all right, man. He wasted AJ Green's entire fucking life. Like if I was AJ Green, like I don't know how the fuck I could be best friends with Andy Dalton. Like every time I'd look at Andy Dalton, I'd just be like, "You fucking ruined me, bro! Like, you fucking killed my fucking career." That's how I would feel.
Andy Dalton now.
I want to hear that shit.
Stuck with his ass now.
Man, if AJ Green had a Aaron Rodgers, we'd be talking about all types of records and shit. Instead, he got stuck with that bum ass motherfucker. I hate Andy Dalton, bro. I hate him. Like, if you think about it, I said something. I said this before. Listen, if you think about it, 3 quarterbacks have the same career. Right now, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, and Andy Dalton all have the same career. They all had generational talents at receiver and never won a fucking thing. All 3 of them had top 5 picks. Julio, top 5 pick. Calvin Johnson, top 5 pick. AJ Green, top 5 pick. None of them anything in the playoffs because their fucking quarterbacks never got it done. Stafford gets a mulligan for playing in Detroit, I guess.
He does.
Right. And Detroit fans will give him a pass, I guess. But again, if you look at their careers, they look eerily similar.
Right.
You know, all 3 of them.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, eerily similar, even from touchdowns to everything, very, very similar. Just, you know, they wasted a generational talent. All 3 of them wasted. Julio's gone now, but, you know, he's not done. But, you know, those guys wasted generational talent. And I don't throw that term around like they do now. Like every other week, you hear that term.
You talk about that shit
He's
earlier.
a generational talent. No, you dickhead. He's just good. Like he's really good. But to use the term generational talent the way it's used now, it's like, well, damn. Like everyone's a generational talent. Like I'm a generational. You're a generational talent. It's like when Oprah was giving out cars. Like you are. Like that's what it is now. Everybody's a generational talent coming into the league. So I fucking hate that term now. I don't even want to use it. It's worse than like Supermax whale play. Like that's even worse than that.
Oh God, don't say that.
It's even worse than that.
37 unit lock of the decade.
Yeah.
Get that shit
500
outta here.
units.
No.
Generational talent.
1,000
All right,
units, lock it in.
I
now.
bet he is.
Yeah,
bet
I
he
swear
is
to God,
again.
I swear to God, if I ever see any of you people post a 57 unit play, I will unfollow you and block the shit out of you.
Dude,
Hey,
report me.
Hey,
As long as you say it like the end, like
So
in order to do this, you have to take out 3 loans. Like at the end, like as long as you say that at the end, I'll be cool with you saying that. But like, I just want to retweet it and be like, do you know how fucking dumb you sound right now?
10 units.
It's 0.05% of your bankroll.
Oh, listen, man.
Chris, you're a numbers guy, and that sounds dumb as fuck. Like,
Man.
all right, sorry. This is I
I was
always
going to
think
say that basically wraps us up for today. We
Right.
had 6 or 7 different analysts join us today. Got to thank each one of you guys for tapping in. You can follow them under your heads. Bullpen and Lady D, you want to give out real quick where they can follow you at?
Yeah, what's your social media? Tell everyone so we can all follow you.
Bullpen.
At Bullpen Bets on Twitter. Hit me up. If you need some plays, DM me. I'll send them to you. I don't charge anything. I've been giving, guys plays for a long time. I got quite a bit of people that actually play my plays. So, and if you want to play, I got quite a bit of money on the U.S. women to win the gold. I won a lot of money on them in the past. I hit them with the World Cup last time for a small fortune. I'm riding. They're still the best team in the tournament. They're at plus 190. I mean, I wouldn't refinance your house or anything, but I do. I am a fan.
That's his way of playing.
It's not a way, it's not a 10-unit play or anything.
10 units. Roger that.
I am playing it, and I have gave it out to my guys.
I need the Super Whale Max play of the decade, please.
I mean, it's hard to go wrong when you got your money in good, and that doesn't mean they're going to win, but your money's in good there. So that's what I got.
Absolutely.
So everybody listen, do not bet your rent or your mortgage or your car or whatever. Okay, everyone. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at Lady D at BetStamp. That's usually my header, but you can also find me under Betty and Heels. You can always catch me on there. I do have a YouTube channel that I send out periodically on Twitter. Just DM me if y'all want to talk or whatever. I do sell my picks. I'm on pickcity.com. So check me out.
Okay. All right. Thank you again, Samba Picari, King Picks. I mean, appreciate y'all kicking it. King Picks, I know you weren't feeling great, but this is what we do. We get it done anyway. We get on here and
I hope I don't be sick now. Like you're right above me.
Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck I have, but I hope it ain't.
We joined the conversation. That's what I'm appreciative of. I'm glad you can add to what we're talking about.
That I was gonna come to. I told Ken, remember I told you
I
I'm
was
gonna make
holding
it.
you accountable, but I almost did not come, and Sosa got get your ass up. That's what he told me, literally. So,
Doctor, we don't matter. That's all I heard from Sosa. Until next week on